Okay, welcome everybody to Takoyaki Party episode number 31. Yay!
Yay!
We're back by popular demand, and by popular demand, I mean the people wanted to talk again. So here we go. Today I'm joined by Andy.
Good friend Andy.
Our good friend Andy, but you know, Julia's not here. She's not our good friend anymore. She got married. That's what happens when you get married. You lose all your friends. Also joining us is Ryan.
Hello.
If you know Ryan, he goes by Frown Dog on Twitter.
Do I?
Right?
Yeah, I go by Zeroshiki on stage 48.
Okay. Also, we have Jeff.
Hey there, I'm GeoFreak17 on Twitter and GeoFreak on stage.
Not GeoCities.
Nope.
Arena 4438. That was my brother's page.
And
then we're also joined by
Joe.
I don't care. I am old. We're also joined by Matt.
Hey, I'm Matto Dio on Twitter and Matto on Twitch, or not Twitch, Stage 48.
Are you also Matto on Twitch?
I'm Matto Dio on Twitch also.
Okay, so what do you stream?
Right now I've been doing Mario Odyssey. Just came out.
Good stuff. I'm sure that's a fantastic game. Okay, today's topics, or I guess this podcast topics, we'll be talking about our live experiences at concerts that happened. First thing I want to talk about is the Asia tour. NMB hadn't toured around Japan since Zetsumetsu Kurokami Shoujo, which was their first single. So when they announced it, you know, people were really excited. They had 3 concerts in Thailand, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, and we have 2 people here that went to some of the concerts.
Yeah.
Ryan, I believe, went to the Thailand one, right?
Yeah, I went with our good friend Joe, the other one, got me tickets.
Yeah, she said she was leaving the fandom. Look what happened.
That's what they all say.
I hate you. Was this the first stop on their international tour?
Yeah, it's actually like it happened August, so it's really weird. They announced the Asia tour. When did they announce the Asia tour? It was really early, like July or something, and then that was when they announced Masaka Singapore as the album, and then they said like, oh, we're gonna do like an Asia tour, and then they announced the dates, right? And it was like none of them were Singapore. I remember
that's why it's Masaka.
Masaka, not Singapore.
Yeah, that's true.
Masaka? No.
Yeah, and then the Thailand date was the one that was like very separate from the other dates because Hong Kong and Taiwan happened like in the span of 3 days.
Okay, I know you attended like a lot of Japan concerts. I would know because we went together.
Yeah.
But how was your experience different from a normal Japan concert? Like, did you do any of the airport stuff or any of that?
Well, I didn't do any of the airport stuff, but there was airport stuff, and I think like the members were really surprised because for a lot of them it was their first overseas tour because like how many members are left from the Zetsumetsu Kurokami Shoujo tour? It's like 3 or 4. But so my impression was like a lot of them were like really surprised with the airport thing because like you don't do that in Japan. It's not kosher. So yeah, I didn't do that. I actually got in really late, so went straight to the venue. So my impressions was that it's like going to like a team specific concert here in Japan. So what do I mean by that? So it's because these people, like the vast majority of them, like 95% of them have. So the difference between Thailand and like Taiwan or Hong Kong is that like Thailand is like kind of far away from Japan, right? And there's no culture of like idols, like going to idol events and stuff. So for a lot of them, this would be their first event ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
At least first event to meet the NMB members, right?
Yeah. To meet of course, they have like their local idols, right? But like for like Japan, for the Japanophiles, this will be like the first time they're meeting like 48 idols.
Mm-hmm.
And my impression was that like a lot of them were like really, really into it, like very. How do you say this in English? Moriagari. very
Hyped.
Hyped.
They're
Yeah.
hyped, dude.
yeah, they were
You
super
gotta-
hyped. Like
You
they're
gotta
very
use the
lit.
street terms. They're very lit. That sounds so like it's like try hard. Why say, sir? They're very lit. What?
Yeah, so that was the impression I got. Like before the concert, in the lines they had like small events. Like they had the local promoters were doing like giveaways. They were doing like NMB quiz. They were doing like NMB quiz. The problem was it was all in Thai, so I had no idea what they were doing. So, but they let us
Sure, it
into
was
the
related.
No, so they let us into the venue really early because they still had to do like other stuff like the photos. So, but like everyone was like really, really hyped up, like even before it was starting. So what was funny was like, so when we got into the venue, they had like the big video screen, right? So they were showing commercials like of the sponsors of the concert, and then like after every commercial, there would be like an NMB member who it was also a commercial too. It was like hi, my name's Yamamoto Sayaka. We are going to Thailand August 13 or something, and then please come. So that's what she says, right? So what's funny is that every time the NMB members would like show up on the video
dang.
screen, everyone would start shouting. It'd be
Somebody's gotta get the thing out of the microwave first.
So they'd be like, Sayaka! And it was like just the video. And it would go on and on for like 2 hours.
Okay, so aside from the hype, how was just like the general concert experience? Like for me, when like Japanese artists visit LA, like we get like they're like up close in your face, right? Like I went to a Momoko concert here and a Momoko concert in Fukuoka, and like there in Fukuoka, I was like in a stadium, I was like really far, I couldn't see anything, but the production value is really good. They have like cages and they're like floating around through the stadium. That's pretty cool. As opposed to LA, where it's like a smaller venue, so they don't have all like the the things, but like they're also like a lot closer. So it's like, oh my god, dude, like I can actually see her, and then I can take video. How was that like in Thailand?
Yeah, so in Thailand they had it's a live venue, right? So it actually looked very similar to like the live houses that NMB played in like last year. So for me it was very similar experience, but I guess for like other people it would probably be very new to them because they haven't seen NMB that close. Because the only way you could be that close to NMB would be if you go to the theater. That was the distance that you had, right? So I guess it is very close. And also I think the live house tour. No, not live house. Sorry, the Asia tour was when they debuted the video. You could take videos of the members. So I'm sure like if the people listening to this looked on Twitter, like they saw like the Thailand, Hong Kong, and Taiwan videos that people took. So the difference between that was that because in Thailand they only did it. It was the first time they did it, right? So they weren't like really used to it yet. So what they actually made a mistake because they thought they said that you could turn on the videos during like Oh My God. So the song Oh My God, but that wasn't the last song of this concert. It was like the second or the third to the last song. So they said, okay, you can take videos now, but only so they said like for this song you can take videos, but they didn't say like, oh, turn it off. So until the very, very end, like they did a double encore and everything, and people were still taking videos. So I think they learned from this, and that's why in Hong Kong and Taiwan, they only did the videos at the very, very end, not even part of a song. They said, okay, we're saying goodbye now. Just, okay, you can take a video.
Yeah, basically they did it at the end where like, yeah, you could take it all the way till the end, but like there wasn't much anyway because it was already at the end.
Yeah, so they were just like waving to people goodbye.
I know like in the concerts here they say like no video allowed, and then people just do it and like nobody ever enforces it. So
I have something to say about that, but we'll get to that later.
all right, so Do you have any like stories about like your experience in Thailand, like specific stories, like oh this cool thing happened, or like oh they not like simple ones, like oh yeah they tried to speak Thai and it was cute, but like any funny things happening or whatever, like specific things that you can share.
Specific to Thailand. Oh, okay. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but so
That's what I like to hear.
Personal recount.
yeah. No. So for some reason, like the Thai compared to like the Taiwan one, which I also went to, like the Thai people were like, the Thai concert had girls only area. That's one.
Mm.
So that's different from Hong Kong and Taiwan.
How big
And
was that?
the girls only area.
Yeah.
It wasn't very big. It was actually like I actually felt like you got cheated if you actually chose the girls only area, even if you were a girl,
Mm.
because it was way to the side.
Mm.
Like you couldn't really see anything. I felt bad for them because I went in after them and I got better view.
Mm.
So that was one thing. They had the girls only area. So the thing I noticed was like they were really really into like the pairings.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if we're gonna discuss the set list, but like one of the songs, so they had like unit songs, right? So one of the unit songs was Kesho, which which was centered by Sayaka and Yuri. And so they started like separate, and then there was Hanamichi, right? The what do you call the Hanamichi? Our runway.
The runway.
Uh-huh.
So they started on the stage and they went like they met in the middle and then they walked down the runway, right?
Uh-huh.
So when they met in the middle, people just started going nuts.
The shippers.
Yeah. So I thought, oh, okay, so they understood, right? Like because right now like Saya Yuri is like a thing in NMB within like the fangirls. And then also like during the MCs, there was a part where what they did in Thailand was that they asked the fans to submit questions to NMB members beforehand. So the question that got asked to Sayaka during the MC, so they split the MCs into like eight. So 8 members first, and then they left, and then eight members again. So Sayaka and Yuri weren't in the same group, but so one of the questions that was asked for Sayaka was if you could like marry one of the NMB members, who would you marry?
Oh my goodness.
So they asked the question in Thai first, and then so I had no clue what was happening, and everyone was So like it was me, Rona, and Daryl standing together, and we were like, what's happening? What's happening? So like one Thai guy was like, oh yeah, if she's gonna marry a member, who would she choose? And like people were already like anticipating the answer even before she said it. And then when she said like Yuri, and everyone exploded. So I thought like it was a thing, like. So because in Japan, like no one really, like I mean, yeah, there are like Saya Yuri fans, but it wasn't really that big. It's not really
Like
that
it's
big.
not like in a concert you wouldn't see like a crazy like group of people going nuts over it. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's starting to get pretty big, but like it hasn't gotten to the part where there was like Sayamuriki that big.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
the thing is, in Japan, if in the concert it was a Sayamuriki thing, everyone goes nuts because they have been like being paired for like the longest time, and especially when Milky was leaving and they were pushing that a lot, and then it was just like driving the fans crazy. But I feel like I kind of know what you mean, but like in here right now in Japan, I don't think Saya Yuri is that big yet. Like I think it's just mostly fans who are fans of Sayaka and Yuri.
Yes, exactly.
Well, anybody's a fan of Sayaka. We already established that.
So it's just Yuri
Attractive
fan then.
property, like-
This is Yuri fans.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so I don't want to oversell it because if people who are listening to this don't know, I'm a Yuri fan, so I don't want to oversell it. But it was like really, really crazy in Thailand. So I thought it was gonna be the same in Taiwan, but it was nothing.
Well, I
Yeah.
always generally I assume that like foreigners who aren't good at Japanese have nothing better to do, so they just start shipping random girls.
Yeah, I guess
Although,
that's part of it, right? Like your contact with the idols, like and even the information is like very limited.
yeah, so you just
So
make stuff up.
yeah, no, you find entertainment where you can.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
There's that's the nice way of putting it. I just say make stuff up.
yeah, I kind of have a related question. So since this is Thailand, you're saying it's far away, idols don't usually go there. Do you think the fans who went were like generally 48 group fans who just wanted to see any 48 group, or were they like familiar with NMB and they were actually NMB fans? Did you get a
Quality
sense of that?
question.
That's a good question. I can't say. I think there were a lot of them. So I think it's something that is hard for us, especially like me and Andy and Matt, maybe like who are in Japan to understand is that maybe in if you're international, like you don't really get to choose very much. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really get to choose like, oh, I'm like a SKE purist. I'm a SKE. I'm an NMB only thing type of thing. I feel like when you live so far away, just being part of the 48 group fans, when any of the group comes, you're like, yeah, I gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I have to
I
go
mean,
meet them type of thing. I think it was even the same when, for example, when AKB went to New York or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the people
Yeah, I get
there,
that.
even if they were like even if they were mostly NMB fans, like they would still go because that's the only chance they get to meet any 48 members.
I'm also thinking that like outside of AKB, like maybe it's just like, oh yeah, I like Japanese music, so I really want to go to this concert. That's the main reason why I went to the Momoko concert here and the Perfume concert actually.
I,
It's not like, oh yeah, I'm a big Perfume like fan, but it's just like, oh yeah, they're here. I like Japanese music. Let's go.
I think there's a part of it. There definitely is like Japanophiles, right? Actually, what's funny is like on the ads that they were running during the concert, right? They were running an ad for like an anime channel in Thailand or something, which like in Japan that would be unbelievable. Like there is like very little crossover between like idols and anime, right? But internationally, I could get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because they're
It's
just
like
selling to the same group of audience, like people
yeah.
who's usually into Japan stuff. They're probably usually into anime, possibly idols, seiyus, stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's hard to say, but my impression was that they were very familiar with NMB. Like they were, like, so for example, it's gonna sound bad. Like Anton was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh
like
gosh.
people who are listening to this, like they would know who Anton is, but it's like I don't know if you count how it would be easier to count from the bottom if you want to count like what position Anton is in NMB.
Jesus man.
No,
Yeah,
So
I mean,
brutal.
we were all surprised that she got sent there in the middle of like everyone else
Right,
being
right, right.
Senbatsu members.
Yeah, everyone was surprised, right? Why she was sent there. I guess, oh my God, she's graduating. But yeah. Anyway, so she was there, right? And then people knew who she was. So is it because like because oh, who is this Ijiri Anna? So I have to study who she is, right? But they knew how to do her intro,
Oh,
and
that's
they also, so in the question corner they actually asked her a question that was related to her. It wasn't the generic like, oh, what do you think about Thailand? It was like, oh, what's your favorite anime recently or whatever.
Mm.
That would mean like someone looked at her Wikipedia 48pedia page or something. At the very least.
She doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
No. Yeah, it
That's
didn't
a
work.
lower position.
That's why I
is.
changed it to 48pedia.
All right.
Okay. So before we leave Thailand, do you have any like final comments, or does anybody have any final questions about Thailand?
I wanted to go there, but it was during Obon.
Yeah.
Like this is way before they even announced it. Like they were already leaks that they were NMB was going to go to Thailand and have a concert. At the time, we didn't know for what, but like there was already information leaked like early on, and like we were already me and Ryan, we were already kind of looking at like flight price, like the prices on the planes. And it was during that Obon day. It was like crazily expensive. I think it would cost me like 6 months, like 60K,
it was
60K
6
yen
months.
just to go to Thailand. And I was like,
$600.
yeah, $600. I was like, no, I probably won't do that. Like it was also LCC. Like it wasn't even like a decent airline. It was a low cost budget airline, right?
So did you even get baggage for that?
No, you
No
don't.
baggage.
No baggage.
Damn.
Like you'll pay $600 just no baggage just to go there. I was like, yeah, like I kind of want to visit Thailand, but like, yeah, I don't have to force myself to go.
I mean, to be fair, it's for the Thai fans, right? It's not for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we are the crazy ones who actually went.
That's what makes it more fun. Okay, I guess that wraps it up in Thailand. I don't know why you guys put on the outline that we're talking about Hong Kong because no one went.
I would just want to say that Hong Kong had seats. It wasn't standing.
Yeah.
Uh,
So it was a little bit different from the other two is because they had this designated seats. So like it was a little bit more organized. It wasn't like, once you get in and just like you fight for your own spot type of thing. It felt like it was more organized. It's just like you could sit where, and the thing is you knew where you're gonna be like the moment you purchase your tickets.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And also Hong Kong only thing was they ran a raffle where you could take pictures with the members. Oh wait, it wasn't Hong Kong only thing. Thailand also did that, but Thailand was really special because they gave it to like 10 people randomly. In Hong Kong, you had to apply for it, and they gave it to a lot of people, like 100 people, I think. But
I heard the raffle wasn't really raffle. It was just a Google Doc, and you just have to log in time and just put your name on it.
Yeah.
And the thing was,
yeah.
Yeah, so the thing was, it wasn't as good as the Thailand one because the Thailand one was really nice. It was just like one fan with all the girls, right?
Oh.
Where the one in Hong Kong was shit. It was just like you plus like 10 other wotas that you have no clue who they are with the girls. So it's one of those weird things where like, yeah, I gotta take photo with my members, but then like you get the photo, you have like these other 10 other guys, you have no clue who they are. It's just like a super awkward family photo thing. It's like I wish none of these guys were there. Like it was just me and the girls. That would make a lot more sense. Or at least like you and your friends, right? Like it's just like you and random like 10 other guys, and I thought it was really stupid. And then
So
Weren't they gonna do that for one of the concert, like the anniversary, like third anniversary or something before the Iwate incident?
No, it was the I think it was the DVDs, the DVD box. You had to buy it, and then you could take a picture, a class photo, basically.
Yeah.
basically you and like 10 other wotas and like with the members.
Yeah. So my friend actually went to this Hong Kong thing. He lives in Hong Kong, and he was telling me that so he won the photo. But he said he didn't actually care for the picture. Like he just wanted to go there and treat it like a handshake.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, you could say something to the members if you go. And that's what he told me. So he said he sucked.
Dang.
But the thing that I regret about not going to Hong Kong was that they had a really nice shirt.
It's just store merchandise.
That was totally unexpected. It's like, oh man, like this happened, or like, no, they have a nice shirt. Like, oh geez, you can't buy it here. Like, dang, it's just a shirt.
No. It was Hong Kong only shirt. Anyway, no, I didn't actually want to go. I was just saying like, oh shit, I wish Taiwan got that shirt.
Okay, so let's moving on.
Yeah, let's move on to Taiwan. I'm interested in Taiwan because I remember Andy telling Murase Sae?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if you go, I'm gonna show up at the airport with flowers.
Yeah.
I really want to know. I want to know if that actually happened.
Okay, so basically, I was actually going to have someone buy me flowers, like because obviously I can't bring my own flowers, right? So
Why not?
because I'm flying, like you can't bring flowers like international. So my original plan was having like someone who's also coming to the airport to the bad ways of saying is camping the members, like is to have them bring flowers. But like everybody that I knew that was going to come didn't come. So basically, I didn't have anyone to help me buy flowers. So I was really bummed about that because like I kind of told them I would. I told the members that I would. And anyway, but either way, when I got there, I'm not gonna go into too much of it because I wrote a really long experience report about this whole thing, about the whole Taiwan show thing. So if you should go read it on stage 48. But the only thing I want to say is the flowers part. The flower is that. So when I got there, so basically a lot of fans bought flowers, right? And they're all going to be like, oh, I want to give this bouquet to a certain member. But like overall, like the whole Taiwanese community was telling people that like we should split the flowers. Like, so it's not like Sayaka with like 10 bouquets and like you have like a member with nothing. So like what they wanted to do was every member would at least get one bouquet. And I thought it was
nice.
Yeah, I thought it was a really nice idea, right? It's better than like it shouldn't be a popularity contest, you know? Like they should
even though it is.
Yeah, but all the members should be greeted the same way, right? Like they should be welcomed. So I thought it was really nice that the Taiwanese fans were being like, and everybody who bought flowers were okay with that. I thought that was the best part, was like it wasn't like you don't get a certain fan like, no, I want to give my flowers to Sayaka type of thing. It was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, yeah, I don't mind giving my flowers to this other member. Okay, so the actual thing though. So basically they kind of said like, oh, can you give this flower to this member? Can you give this like bouquet to this other member? So everybody was like, okay, so everybody technically should have one. But so when the girls came out, it was just really chaotic overall. So like what happened was like, I guess someone screwed up. Someone gave the bouquet to a different member, and then what happens is it doubles up, right? So people started like panicking. So everybody started just to give a bouquet to the closest member they see. So like most of the members did get one, but I think one member did not get it.
Was it Anton?
No, Anton didn't come to Taiwan. It was Joe. Because after I saw my recordings, like I didn't even know about this till later on when I saw my own recordings. Like when I saw my recordings, I was like, hey, Joe doesn't have one. She was the only girl in my recording that didn't have one. So like, I kind of feel bad for her, like, because everybody had one. Like some members even had two, like Fuchan had two, and some certain member probably got doubled. But like, Joe was the only one who didn't have one. And I was like, she must be feeling so bad. Like if assuming that everyone else had one, meaning that she was the only person who didn't have one, that would suck so hard for her, you know? Because the thing is, the members don't know about this. They don't know that how like all the fans have planned it, where everybody gets one.
Yeah.
Right? They don't know. So to them, it's just like, oh, that's for Joe. Maybe she's feeling like, oh, everybody has a fan in Taiwan except for me.
Damn, dude, that's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, that's
from a Joe Oshii, man, dude, that's a heartbreaker.
Okay, so that's all I really want to talk about the Taiwan one. Like, the rest of the stuff, I think I went into quite a bit in my own report.
Yeah, so anybody that's interested, check out Stage 48. There's a very he goes into detail about some of the incidents, such as the Yakai incident.
Yes.
Which if you are curious on, please read the report, because it was actually pretty well written. I think I read it. I hope I read it, because if I didn't, I would be a liar, and I don't want to be a liar.
But you knew about the Yakais, I mean, you read it.
Yeah, I read your Twitter, because, I'm unemployed, so I have nothing else to do. Okay, wow, okay, that's just the Asia tour, and then they continued their tour, because I guess they didn't want to leave their Japanese fans in the lurch, so they had an arena tour. Can you guys tell me how this was tied in with 7th anniversary? Was Osaka the 7th anniversary? Kind of?
Yeah.
Okay. So they had one in Yokohama, Nagoya, Osaka.
Two in Osaka. So basically, Yokohama was the first one. Then they moved to Nagoya. Then they have, the Osaka was 2 dates. So like, it kind of incorporated the arena tour, coming back to Osaka, and then finishing it with a 7th anniversary.
Ah, cool. Anything cool happened in Yokohama? that like people don't really know about. I think one of my favorite memories of 5th anniversary was when Nagisa was playing the piano, and like no one outside of fandom knew that. So is there anything similar to that happened in these concerts?
Maybe
Start with the Yokohama one.
maybe Matt can talk a
Priority.
little bit.
Sure. I guess like the big thing was it was like Momoka's last big concert because she graduated, or she's.
Dang it! Are you sure?
Yeah, she left. She's gone.
I'm so upset.
So if people who are listening to this don't understand, before we started recording, Joe was looking over a list we made of the graduated members, and like straight deadpan, he was like, "Wait, Momoka graduated?"
At first, I was like, "Which one? Like, not Kinoshita, right? Because like, there's a Hayashi Momoka too." I was like, "Well, but I know she's still in the group. Maybe there's another one."
There's actually another one, Iwata Momoka.
You want?
Okay.
She's still there.
All right, go on, Matt.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
So like I guess at like the Thailand concert, there's like a big girls section. It actually was bigger than the Thailand one, according to Ryan. I guess if Ryan can go on to that.
No, so the girls section in Yokohama is ridiculous. Like how many blocks were there? Maybe like five blocks was like girls.
Yeah, like the first and second level of like the stands or whatever were all girls.
Yeah, and
How
then,
many people would you think were there in the blocks? Just because like I've been to the venue, so I know how big are the blocks. But like how for people who's listening, how many seats would you say is in those
Hard
blocks?
to say.
Around like because we can do by
300 ish. 300
per block?
More 300.
No, it's more. If you think
How
about
much is
it,
in one
like,
block? How much is one block roughly? Do you know?
yeah, we should think about that. Like for example, one row would be like 20 people, right? And then like, there's gonna be like 10 rows per
10,
block,
yeah.
so maybe 200 people per
200.
block. Yeah, so if
Yeah,
it's times 5, it's gonna be like 1,000 girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was at least close to 1,000 girls.
Yeah.
And I want to mention that the girl-only section is the first time within 48 groups that NMB was the first one to do it. Like this was the first time ever within 48 groups that they have done a concert where they actually had a specific girls-only seat.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. It's like, oh man, like the girls don't want to party with the guys. Like,
No, these
What-
these
what-
this is
no,
these are
it's
special seats
really
just
good.
for girls.
Yes,
that's what I mean. Like,
but it's a good thing because the girls still can apply for the regular seats. So they are just giving priority to female fans because they know they have enough female fans, and they want to try to encourage the female fans to come. So it's not just encouraging a bunch of male in their 30s to come to watch these.
a lot of
concerts.
the
man, what are you saying about males in their 30s?
I mean, a lot of the
I'm
girls
saying-
get intimidated by the male fans. Like they've never been to an idol concert before, so this just makes it easier.
Yeah, I get that, which is why it makes me sad. Because I can see that some girls would be like, oh yeah, I only want to go to the concert if like I can hang out with other girls that do that, and like it make them feel more comfortable. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like I can empathize with that. But man, like what are the guys doing, man? Make them feel more welcome. They already get priority when it comes to like taking birthday photos at events.
Yeah. I think they have like the girls and like family member sections also. Those are basically every concert has those.
Well, I thought you apply as a family so that you can get seats next to each
Yeah.
other. I don't know if there's family only sections though.
There is.
There's-
Yeah.
It's basically a section that you can sit. Like they don't expect you
Like
to
in
be
the
standing.
arena area.
Actually, you're not allowed to stand if you're in
Yes.
the family section.
Okay. Thanks, Japan, and your rules.
Yeah, so basically there's that big the whole huge girl section for Momoka. I forget the song she did,
Priority.
Priority, right?
Priority, yeah. It's wearing the big
Actually,
fur
Man,
coat.
that's her only song.
Yeah, but it was
She'd
awesome.
get more solo. I thought she'd get more solo songs in the
Well,
future.
then
but
she also got a like it's gonna do it. She did a Water Key with Sayaka doing the guitar, which is really cool.
Dang. And then no concert DVDs announced yet, right?
Yeah, and then
Damn it.
no other thing. I think this might have been only Yokohama. I don't think it wasn't in Nagoya, I guess, and definitely wasn't at Osaka. They did you could record part of the concert at Yokohama
Okay.
because they had all the YouTubers. So obviously Akarin been pretty big, And then Anshu started her Dragon Quest thing, and I think there's a couple more that were doing something, like Miordine? Or...
Yeah, Miorin has a YouTube channel.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, we're all
She's really pretty now.
So they're like, oh, we're all a bunch of YouTubers. So, hey, are any of you guys on YouTube? And like, everyone's like, oh, yeah, yeah. It's like, okay, well, for this time only, we're going to let you guys record the song. So they did Oh My God. And then they brought in Hikakin, who's like a big, like probably the biggest Japanese YouTuber.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Everyone says that.
Yeah. So yeah, he came in as a guest and
go ahead.
was recording stuff.
I was gonna say that like whenever I didn't know who he was, and then I'd go to school and the kids would be like, "Hello YouTube," and I'm like, "What? Like, what? Like, why do you know that?" It's like, "Oh, Hikakin, meet them. Have you seen like Hikakin?" I'm like, "Oh, no." So I looked him up and I'm like, yeah, he's pretty plain. Like, I don't see what's so funny about him. Or I don't know why he's so famous. But,
well, the good thing is that NMB definitely used his fandom, because if you look at the video he uploaded of himself at the concert, there's a lot of good comments about like, oh wow, I discovered NMB and I really like them. I want to follow them now.
Cool stuff.
It's a successful collaboration. Basically,
Yeah.
you can put it.
All right. Anything else about Yokohama?
Yeah.
Anything
But pretty
else?
much other than that, those two things, I think all the concerts might have had the same kind of format, like the same kind of gimmicks. Like the big one, I guess. They did the overture 3 times.
Why? Why?
It was
So we
funny,
get to
though.
yell "Tiger" more times.
Yeah.
I thought there was like a better story when you guys were talking.
Also, like, they
we're not
did-
gonna...
They did
There
the
is a
overture
better
first
story,
time.
Joe. Don't worry.
Yeah, they did the overture the first time, and after they all like came out like as like Yankee, like Osaka style Yankee bikers with like fake motorcycle like thing. And so they did Punkish and Machijo Teppen Blues.
Oh,
And then they like
okay.
stopped it, like Miru stopped it, and she's like, "Yo, we're an idol concert. We should like do idol songs, like cute songs or whatever." So it's okay if we restart the concert again and do an idol song, and everyone's like, "Yeah, sure, we'll do it." So the lights go out and they do the overture again, which is hilarious.
Yeah, and then like they redo the overture video to like match the style of the next song.
Yeah.
They're gonna do.
Yeah.
So the first one was they were showing the members as like Yankees, so they had like the Majiska style like makeup and outfits, and then this next one,
Ska-jan.
Skajan, yeah.
yeah, and then this next time they did like the super idol outfits, like they were all in twin tails and stuff like that.
Ugh. Yuck.
They had like stuffed animals and stuff like that with them.
Yeah, so they came out and then they did Namikuji Heart.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, and then they did that, and then I guess in this one, I guess Mocha stopped and was like, "Yo, actually, we're NMB48, so we should do like an actual NMB48 song."
Uh-huh.
And so
they did it.
So they restarted again, did overture again, and then they did
Okay.
Nagaichi.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a
Got it.
yeah.
Okay, so I guess there was a reason, because when you said like they just when you're like, oh, they did it 3 times, I was like, well, was there a reason?
Like not in
for
a
it?
row, yeah, but like
Because I don't know if you guys remember or if you were even interested, but like when there was a concert, I think it was here. It was Jay-Z and Kanye West, and they did I forgot what the song was. I don't know what it sounds like. I forgot the title of the song, but they performed it like 11 or 12 times in a row.
That's just Kanye.
It was that shit cray song. I forgot what it's called. I remember I like that song. I don't know if I like it for like 11 times, but I think the first time they did it like 5 times. It was like, oh man, I can't believe you did that song like 5 times. And the next time he did it like 11 times. So I was like, did they do that with the overture? Like, if they did, I'll be very upset.
No.
Okay, thank God. Thank you. All right. Okay.
But-
Nothing else from Yokohama.
yeah, that's pretty much
Clean.
it. Yeah.
I mean, it
Alright,
was Momoka's last concert though, so they had like it was a little heavy Momoka. Well, not really very, but like she had like 2 or 3 special songs, and then
There's like a
she
tribute
made-
video.
yeah,
Like, with all,
and
like,
then
little, like most message cards to her and stuff.
oh yeah, they did do that. So they had they had like the special board, I think, where they wrote stuff about Momoka, like thank you for everything, blah blah blah, and they showed
Yeah.
that, right?
On the screens, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they gave her like a goodbye. They she got to say goodbye to everybody.
This is what really bums me out is that because she's actually there for the whole remaining of the whole tour, but they made Yokohama the last concert that she appears in.
I mean, you
That
couldn't
kind of
have her
bummed.
end at Nagoya.
Well, yeah, like I mean, I think she could still like the Yokohama one, like she could main in that one. It could be like a Momoka heavy, but I feel like she could still be around for the concert. So like, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people from Nagoya or even Osaka that wants to see Momoka again in a concert, right? And it just felt like it was kind of I was like, ah man, like it was kind of unfortunate, like because I was expecting Momoka to be there in Nagoya when I went.
Yeah, that's a good
But she wasn't there. She wasn't even in the concert at all. So it was really weird to me because I knew she was still in NMB at the time. I knew like her last theater show, her last events, no, not over yet. So to me, it was just like, hey, well, why don't you include her in the concert? Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, she can still fool around. Like, I'm pretty sure she'd have fun, you know? And it gives the fans to see her more, like a couple times more than, you know? But that really, it bummed me out a little bit because because obviously I didn't go to the Yokohama one. So I really wanted to see her once more in a concert, you know, before she leaves. And when I went to Nagoya, I was like, oh, she's not even there anymore.
Dang.
That's a good point though. Like if you think about it, like for example, I mean, I'm of two minds of it. Like well, as what Andy said, right? That's a good point. Like for her fans who couldn't make it, like of course, like she has like a lot of Osaka fans, right? For Osaka fans, maybe they could make it to Nagoya because it's not that far. But like Yokohama would be impossible because it's a weekday too.
Yeah, it's on a Wednesday.
Yeah, so in that
Hey man,
sense,
you gotta be hardcore.
yeah, in that sense, I understand. But like for example, I thought it was really weird. For example, in the spring concerts, like for example, Keiichi had her graduation concert. Oh, everyone's crying. She had the dress. They sang like Tochugesha, whatever.
Mhm.
And then
And she
the
was
next
in
day,
shoes.
yeah, the next,
And
oh
she
hey,
was for the
Keiichi,
next
how
for
are you?
Enrigan too.
Yeah, and she was there the next week too.
Didn't Lulu skip school from New York to attend K's concert? These people from Osaka and Nagoya have no excuse for not showing up to Yokohama. Like, bruh, come on.
That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, I do get it. But I think like it might be because there's a demand. Like, oh, you gotta have a graduation concert. It's like, oh, how can we fit people into these graduation concerts? And like, you know, because you had Shu, Rainyan, and Keiichi all at the same time. It's like, but they're still there. It's like, I guess you have to put each one has to be like title or headlined by somebody. So I guess, yeah.
I mean, I understand it was a little bit awkward like that, but I thought it was okay because it was still very whoever is graduating centric. Like,
Yeah.
like for example, Keiichi was in Shu's graduation concert, but like she already finished her graduation show. But the thing is that, like you didn't really notice that Keiichi was there, except
Right.
that if you were a Keiichi fan or you're specifically looking for Keiichi in that concert, because
That's
it
true.
was
She didn't
so.
even say anything.
Yes, they didn't even give them time to say anything. The thing was, it was so shoe centric. Like for example, the person who's graduating centric. I thought that was okay. Like, but I mean, for Keiichi's fan, they can still be happy about it. Like because they can still see Keiichi one way or the other. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I guess
the
it,
problem is
it-
for Nagoya, they didn't have another big graduation to fill that space.
Yeah, but Mocha can just fool around like she always does.
I don't know. Maybe she didn't want to.
I don't know.
Well, I guess whatever. So I guess let's move on to Nagoya. Did anything unique happen to Nagoya?
So for me, Nagoya was my first one, but like it's basically the exact same as Yokohama, except minusing the YouTube thing, because obviously Hikakimori came out, so they didn't do that horse segment thing.
Yeah, unless they have
Something
Nagoya
different though.
too.
Something different though. It was in Nagoya, right? So for unit song, guess what song Sayaka did?
I see. I knew Andy was gonna say this.
I don't know. I was thinking like when you said Nagoya, I just think of chicken wings.
Okay, well, if you think about for Nagoya's SKE, right? Like if you're talking about SKE like a solo song,
this.
what song would you think of? What would come into your mind?
I don't know.
Okay, is it Judy
I really
song?
don't.
Is it Judy song?
I didn't even know she had a solo song. Is it the one she won from from winning first at the Junkin?
No, that's not solo.
So basically,
I don't know.
Jurina has this Akai Pink Hill song that like SKE fans they always vote for like for doing request hour, and then I think it has one
first place, like third place last.
Yeah,
year.
like it's always very top. Like so basically Sayaka did Akai Pink Hill, and I thought it was super funny was because because we were in Nagoya.
Was there salt?
Oh my God! Like there was like a
Not
salt
even
mountain,
the fans.
Yeah, it wasn't from the fans. It was from Jurina.
All right. Ooh.
So after the concert, right? So what's funny was like Andy and I were talking about it. It's like, oh, it was really funny. Like Sayaka sang Akai Pin Hill in Nagoya. Yeah, it was really funny. And then we checked Twitter, and Jurina actually posted, said, I heard that like Sayane sang Akai Pin Hill in a Nagoya concert. Oh, that's really nice. And then she posts like 4 pictures of her singing it. So,
Dang, the salt.
oh man, Jurina, are you trying to tell me something?
Yeah, it was kind of fun. It was kind of weird. Like I think she could have just made like oh it's nice that like she should be happy. She was like her tweets was saying that she was happy. It was just like the photo she attached was just like all photos of her doing Akai Pin Hill.
Were there any photos of Sayaka doing it?
I remember us being salty about SKE performing something. I forgot what it was. but-
Zetsumetsu Kurogami Shoujo.
No, I don't remember being that salty over that. Something else.
Whatever.
Okay, finally, it's Jeff's
one more,
time to shine.
one last thing. One last
Oh, sorry.
Nagoya thing.
Sit down, Jeff. Sit down.
I'm sitting.
About
Dang,
Nagoya.
we almost got you.
So during Nagoya, I actually helped get tickets for these 2 other foreign fans. They weren't actually NMB fans, but they were interested to watch NMB just because they're already here in Japan. So I was like, yeah, of course I'm gonna help you guys, especially if it helps pulling in more interest, for people to get into NMB. So what I did, so there's one guy I think he's from Mexico. The other guy's from Sweden. So basically, yeah. So Netherlands. So basically, like, okay, so I did some of them. I did have to help them buy tickets from the Japanese people. So originally, like, I actually paid extra for my like a better seating. Like, I paid for a good seat. I paid extra for a good seat. So originally, like, we were just gonna be like, okay, we're just gonna go in and then switch seats inside, right? Because we could usually always do that, right? So what happened that time was, it was, I don't know, maybe it's the venue, because I've never been to that venue. So what happened with this venue was that once you entered, like there's 2 entrance, like one for the stand and one for the arena. So once you enter it, you cannot move to a different section.
Oh.
So I got screwed so hard. Like, so I went to the stand to bring like the other foreigner in. I brought him. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go down to arena now. Then I find myself unable to even get down to arena. Like, it was literally impossible. Like there are like little side stairs and stuff, but every single side stair is like guarded by like a security guard, and they were like super strict. They're like, nope, no one can come through this.
What happened?
So basically, I get screwed. So it was just kind of like, okay, like I basically paid extra for better seats for some other guy.
So wait, so you didn't have a assigned like seat or whatever?
It was a assigned seat, but they wouldn't let me down into the arena because I entered through stand.
So where did you sit?
I sat with where my original ticket was. It's like so
Oh,
basically
okay.
so
Also,
basically
yeah, you had 2 tickets.
yeah, I had 2 tickets. So
Okay.
one for one of the foreigners to go down through the arena, one for me to go into the stand, and then we were supposed to switch inside.
Uh-huh.
So I'll go down to the arena, he will come up to the stand. But basically, we couldn't switch inside.
Okay.
So
okay.
basically,
Got
I
it.
paid extra for the guy to have a better seat.
Dang. Look at generous Andy.
Yeah, no, man, I was really, actually really pissed off because like
Yeah.
this has never happened before. I've never been to a concert where they didn't let you go up and down between arena and stand. Like the most I've ever been to is
Right.
they will check for your tickets. You know, like, oh, are you gonna come into arena? Can you show that you have arena tickets before letting you in? But then you can leave from whenever, right? But like
You're right.
the thing was, this was the first time I ever been to a concert where like once you enter either arena or stand, you're stuck there. Like there's no other ways to go around.
Dang, that sucks.
Yeah, I had to bring that up because I don't know. Maybe it's the venue. So I hate that Gaishii Hall. Fuck you, Gaishii Hall.
Nothing good
Fuck
happens
you,
in
SD.
Nagoya.
Fuck you, Nagoya.
I didn't even eat the chicken wings in Nagoya. I just think of chicken wings. I don't even know if they're that good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Finally, Jeff's time to shine.
Yay!
All right. Final 2 concerts in Osaka. How are those?
Yeah.
Solid.
So this was my first time seeing an NMB only concert. I had previously seen them briefly in Request Hour last year, but that was just like 1 or 2 songs. And I got really lucky with the seats both days. So I think throughout this whole arena tour, they had a stage going around the arena seats, basically in front of the first row of the stands. So the members would often spread out across all of the stands. So a lot of fans got to see them up close. So my arena seats both days were on the edge of very near the edge of the arena. So I was really close to this stage. So I got to see a lot of members up close running around. So basically the first few songs of the first day, I was just stunned seeing all these members performing so close. I mean, I've been to handshake events, so I've seen members even closer, but seeing them in a concert is just a whole different experience.
Right. Like it's like handshake is like, oh yeah, I see them, but like when you get close to them at like a performance or the theater, it's like, yo, dude, I'm seeing them at work.
Yeah, this is their main thing, performing
Profession.
live.
So Jeff, did you get rest? We should
Yes.
explain it too. You did.
Yeah,
I guess,
so
can you explain what rest is?
yeah, so rest is like when you try to get a response from a member during the concert. So the first day I didn't have any like uchiwa, the paper fan or anything. I saw lots of fans around me having, the member specific ones, or even ones where it just says, "Oh, wave at me" or "point at me." And the members do that, and that's totally different from any concerts I've been to before, because I haven't been to an idol concert. I've been to a lot of rock concerts, but they're focused on playing music. They're not focused on.
Imagine a
waving
rock
at the
concert
crowd.
with Uchiwa.
Like wave to me. It's like, dude, I'm playing the guitar, man. You want me to stop the song just for you? Are you serious?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, my seats were really close to the stage. So the other Momoka we mentioned, Hayashi Momoka, who was already one of my top favorite NMB members, she like danced in front of me for 3 straight songs because all the members were spread out around the entire stage, and she happened to be there and stayed there. So I was like, oh my god, so captivated by her. And then the next day I decided to go make a custom Mocha Punch Uchiwa. And during the second day, I was constantly waving it whenever she ran by. She ran by a few times without noticing, but near the end, I finally got a Mocha Punch. And that completed
Nice.
my concert experience.
Yes, please put your pencils down.
No, I mean, like rest is like it's a big thing for like fans, and for members, it's like completely nothing, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'll do a Moko Punch like towards that guy because he has a Moko Punch Uchiwa.
Yeah.
So, but it like, and then it's like a great experience for you. It's fun, right? Like if you think about it, like sounds dumb, but it's like actually really fun if you get one.
Yeah, especially you're like in a sea of people, and it feels like that one moment they notice you, and it's just the connection between you two.
It always feels
Nice.
nice because, especially with really big concerts, is that you feel like you are so insignificant. Like it
Right.
depending on your seats. Like if you could sit really far and you feel like, oh man, like all these people are super close. They get to watch. They get to have all these interaction with the fans. Well, I mean with their idols. And I'm like all the way back here just looking at the screen. It's like It's as if I'm just watching it from home, but but I'm paying the exact same amount as everyone else. So when you feel like that, you suddenly feel like, oh, you're so insignificant that like, oh yeah, and the members don't even know I came. Like, yeah, I had fun, but it's not great. It's not a
Hmm.
great experience. But I feel like whenever you would like, so I think NMB did a lot of improvement with this. I think 48 groups in general, they've been really good with these recently. Is because they noticed that there are a lot of these fans who's like always ends up like an outer of like a big concert, and they kind of just go like, oh, maybe I won't, maybe I won't come next time or something like that. So, and I think they've been improving their concerts by having a lot more interaction, like outer interaction. Like they started to do a lot of, if possible, if the venue allows it, they have these carts that will go around back into the stands, like really, really near the back of the stands.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, on
like
like the second
so
level.
yeah. So like up on the second level, like where at least even if you were back there, you had a chance where you felt like you were part of the concert.
Yeah,
Like
that's where
there's
I
a
was
chance
sitting.
a big member will come by. Maybe they might see you, maybe they won't see you, but at least it gave you that one like 10 seconds of like, oh, okay, at least I get to see a member really close. And I think that's a very good improvement throughout all the 48 group concerts. I think a lot of 40 group all the groups, I think a lot of them are doing these days anyway. Like I think it's really nice. And then I think it makes people like, so even if you did end up getting really crappy seats, you think about, oh, I'm really close to a little like a runway thing on the side. Maybe it's possible that members might come by. It gives people a little bit of hope going into a concert.
Yeah.
I thought it was just really funny that it has like a secret code word, like, yo, did you get the rest? Like, what the heck?
It's not a secret code word. It's
Yo,
a
you got that
otaku
res.
word. It's a
Yeah,
otaku word that's
it's
not really
it
popular foreign with foreign fans because like foreign fans like
Don't go
have
to
no use for
concerts.
it. Yeah.
it's also, well, I mean, like a lot of abbreviations in Japanese aren't that much quicker to say in English, so we don't use abbreviations that much. But no, I could just imagine like now all these people with signs like saying "Res me, please."
Not Resmi. Don't say that.
Res, please. Yeah. No, I get it. I remember, for my God, I don't remember when that concert was. When I went with Daryl, I think it was sixth anniversary, and like, yeah, they came down like in the beginning, and so they're like, someone were like right next to you. I was like, oh man, that's really cool. And then I noticed with the stage they're trying to be more, I guess, democratic or more. They try to promote more equality. It's like, okay, so sometimes you get good seats if it was this performance, sometimes you don't. So I was like, oh, okay, I kind of see that. That's kind of cool.
Mhm.
I get it. I get it. All right. Anything else about the Osaka concerts that you enjoyed, Jeff? It's your time to shine.
Um, yeah, just going off of the whole like putting members really close to the far seats. I remember the second day, the members started the first song coming out of like some really really high stairs on the top level, and they walked all the way around and then came down to the stage. So I thought that was a really really cool to let the fans up there see them up close.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Japan, but when I see like their stairs, they have like no what is it, handles or whatever, and that scares me. It's like, oh look, like she's like in like the girls in like what, like 2 inch 3 inch heels and like walking down like a ginormous like staircase, and there's no railing to hold on. I'm like, dude, how is there no accident? And then they got to do it as part of this. So they got to start from like the concert hall all the way to the back. I'm like, oh, dude, please don't injure yourself. Is all I can think of. I'm the
Yeah,
worst.
Andy, didn't you see Yuri almost fall?
But that wasn't the stairs. It was other stuff.
It's when they're
You
switching
can
the
describe
cards.
Okay, so basically, like, so I was in arena.
Is this
So,
worth describing?
so I was well, I don't know. Like, so I was in arena for both of the days as well in Osaka. So in the arena, they also have the push cart thing. So basically, they start from both sides, and then basically there's two push carts, right? So one from the left, one from the right. They meet in about the center, and then have the girls walk across, like so you go on my cart, I go on your cart type of thing. So in between, sometimes so when I saw it was Yuri and Nagisa, I think. And basically, Yuri was so into giving all the fans in the arena rest, waving, shooting them with
Rest,
rest. Yeah. So she was so focused doing that she didn't know that she had to exchange. She had to actually go into Nagisa's cart. So Nagisa came by, actually had to tap her hey, get in my cart, So she did, but the thing was that she was kind of slow at doing that as well. So but the people pushing it didn't know. So they were already splitting the carts apart, and where you had Yuri was actually in between the carts. That's while it's being split apart. So she had basically, in short, she had one foot on one cart, another foot on the other cart. And that was to me, that was a super dangerous moment, because even she knew because they just keep pushing, and then she noticed oh crap, I literally have to jump to the other cart or else she's gonna fall. And she did kind of did a little leap, so she was safe. But then even she knew it was kind of dangerous, because she was oh, she had that oh, that was super close type of gesture, Yeah, so I could I'm like you said, I'm surprised these accidents never happened before, because when I saw it was really giddy. It was really close. Honestly, if she was a bit slower, a second later, she might have just fallen off. And it's pretty tall, if she falls, I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe they're gonna stop the song or something. I don't know, man.
That does remind me of my last handshake event when what Yudi had a huge wound on her hand or something, and you're not supposed to talk about it. And I think you asked her how'd you get that wound, and she was oh yeah, I just fell. It's what the heck, you just got that from a fall? Now we know what kind of fall it happened from. All right. Any other cool story bros?
Oh, I have one thing. So we mentioned about the recording and how it wasn't enforced. Actually, I witnessed it get enforced at the first day of Osaka. So I was up in the high area, and I saw a staff just staring at someone for a long time, like evil eye looking. I look over to my left. There's some guy holding a point and shoot camera and recording a good chunk of the show. Basically, this is probably maybe 1/3 of the way into the show. That's when I noticed him. And he was recording probably during they're doing each team song, Team N to Team M, B2. So this is doing it basically from Team M and on, based recording. And basically, staff's looking at him, and then she called over two guy staffs to go look at him. And eventually they went back, and I guess they got one of the best big boss staffs or whatever. Eventually they went up to a seat and pulled him out. He got kicked out.
Dang. Usually they take away your cameras, or you have to check them in. So man, this guy snuck in a whole camera.
Yeah, it wasn't even smartphone. Yeah, it was literally just a point and shoot handy cam.
Yeah, this guy wasn't even. The thing was, this guy wasn't even trying to hide. He was just nope, I'm recording.
Yeah, he did have a pin light in his other hand, and the camera in the other hand was kind of hiding it, but still not very good.
All right. So the two big news announcements.
Oh, one more thing that was really special.
One more thing to
talk about. Sayaka.
Jeff, it was your time to shine.
Sayaka doing priority.
Oh yeah, that was good.
So as you all know, that Yuki Tsune's a huge Sayaka fangirl, right? So
I think some people don't even know who Yuki Tsune is.
So Yuki Tsune's a chick that likes white rice.
And taking
does she still do? I don't think she's the white rice girl anymore, is she?
No, she doesn't do it anymore. She
doesn't do it anymore, girl. But so she's the camera girl. So she is the one that's always taking quality photo, and she always has these ugly water texts. That's Yukitsu. Just good quality photo, but she needs to fix that. She needs to fix the text on that thing, man. It's an ugly Yukitsu thing.
It's Ariel or something. basic font.
Well, that's so that nobody steals her
Yeah.
photos. That might be like a thing.
No,
like,
it's
nobody
good.
wants-
Put like a print, but like
Put a
that-
logo or something.
Yeah,
Or,
like something
No,
nice
but
that
I mean,
just
like
says-
maybe.
like Times New Roman Yukitsune or whatever.
With the
I was
period.
thinking that like maybe like the NMB managers are like, oh yeah, put a watermark on. Like we don't want people to like just take the photo.
No. I think it's okay to put a watermark. It's just her watermark is very.
Very bland.
All right, man.
Okay. Anyway, so she's the camera girl. So she's a huge Sayaka fangirl. Like she always get like really embarrassed. So basically Momoka left, right? So they obviously needed someone to kind of take over that priority thing. So obviously the next one in line would be Sayaka, just because she kind of plays both the swing, she kind of pleases both male and female fans. So she did priority, and it was really funny because you could see like all these NMB members comes out being like super fangirls, like worshiping her with like what were they having? Like they had like Sayaka towels and stuff. And Sayaka actually had a name, but I can't remember the name. Like just like Momoka, she had a host name, but like Sayaka had one too, but I can't remember. But anyway, so there was this moment where like she gave like a rose to Yukitsu, and Yukitsu's all like, "Oh my god," and then she gave her like a hug and type of thing, and then Yukitsu died. I thought that was
What's hilarious was that they actually had so you had Momoka's back dancers, right? It was like Hayashi Momoka, Yuzuha, Kojirin, and some other girls. And so what they did with Sayaka was like so she came out in a trolley. So she passed by the girls, of course, the girls only section, and they were all going crazy. And she got to the stage, and then you had like NMB members like dressed as like whatever, and then like acting as fangirls, and then you had the host, like the back dancers. They were basically security. They were pushing them back.
Dang.
It was
it was basically a huge fangirl moment for everyone. Like it was funny. It was funny too because we all know about the whole Yukitsu and Sayaka thing. So it was extra. It was funny. It was
juicy. Juicy.
Yeah, it was juicy material for everyone.
All right. All right. So I think we can move on.
Yeah.
Right.
Announcement.
Jeff, the man. You got. Why don't we have Jeff present our two announcements?
So the two big announcements at Osaka. First, the first day, Fu-chan announced her graduation at the end of the encore.
Man. Why can't all these concerts be happy?
Every year.
Actually, apparently, it hasn't been happy since third anniversary, and actually depends on who you asked. Third might not have been happy either.
All right. Well, I mean, like I remember, like well into like AKB's like when Ah-chan was still in there, like people hated concerts because they always knew something bad was gonna happen at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, why can't they just why can't you just do this graduation stuff later?
I actually
Some
like
announce it later.
graduation concerts in a sense because you know that they're not gonna announce another graduation during the graduation concert.
God, remember that one concert we went to like last year in the Live House one? And everyone's like, oh man, is Milky gonna announce her graduation? And it was just like an aura over all three. It's like, maybe she's gonna announce this one because in between two graduation concerts.
Ah, yeah, I remember that
man.
one.
Oh god, that was the worst.
Right? So like everyone has that, especially with Milky because everyone was basically just waiting for her to announce with that one. But
Bro, it was on the newspaper, man.
yeah, it wasn't.
No. I think she leaked something, or she kept speaking really funny on GoGo.
Not just that.
Was
There
it
was
Go-
actually a news
there was a newspaper.
article. It was on a news article that she was going to announce on this day, and then she didn't. That's why everybody was like, "Oh crap, she's going to announce on today," because there was an article on it.
I forgot what the name of that site was. I was gonna say GoGo Ichi, but
755.
that's the name of the.
No, go.
Okay, I was thinking, man, I'm hungry. I gotta get some of that butamon. Goodness. my friend like went to Osaka. He's like, "Hey, check this out. I got like takoyaki and gogoichi." I was like, "Man, I hate you. Why are you gonna do that to me?" He has his own drama though. Okay, so Fuchan announced her graduation. What's next? Jeff.
Day 2 had 2 announcements.
Yeah.
So first of all, they announced a new single before the end of the year. It's being released on December 27th.
That was day 1, I think, actually.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, like before Fuchan announced her graduation.
Oh, really?
Because they didn't announce like the lineup or who the center was or anything.
That's
Oh.
why the rumor was they were waiting for Fuchan to announce her graduation so that they could like make her center or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm looking back at the set list, and they announced the single like 3 songs before Fuchan announced graduation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember for the 6th anniversary, didn't they announce the senbatsu for the new single before they announced Keiichi was leaving? So everyone knew. No, they shuffled the teams. So they're like, "Where's Keiichi gonna go?" It's
Yeah,
like, "Oh, she's
that's when
leaving."
she's like, "Oh, I'm leaving."
All right, so they figured it out this time. That's good. Okay.
And then day 2 is promotion of all the Kenkyusei.
Yay.
So this
Yeah.
was
Oh, it's a good news, but the thing is, they had to do it, you know.
yeah. But the way they did it was weird because they announced every single member individually. So as you're going on, it's like, okay, these first few members they announced, everyone kind of knew they're the most likely to get promoted. But then as you keep going, it's like you're getting to over half of all the Kenkyusei. And then it's like, if you leave out these 1 or 2 members, that's like so sad. So at that point, it's just everyone's getting promoted.
No, what's messed up is
they-
that they didn't even do it alphabetically. So in other times they would do it alphabetically. This time they did it by rank.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
It was basically they did it purposely. They were trying to create some kind of drama, you know, like like the way they said it too. They're like, okay, these members are going to be promoted, and so they go off like you said, like they went from the members who's most likely to be
Oh,
promoted.
yeah, that's what you mean. Right?
And then it's by ranking, right? So then I was like, okay, but the way they did it, makes you think like, oh crap, is half of the members going to be not promoted? So like they're only going to promote certain members. But then, like you said, the more names they called, you're kind of like, they have to promote everyone at this point. Like if they don't, man, whoever's not get called is going to break. You know, like
I mean, they've done
if
that
everybody's
before.
called,
Though.
you're like the only last 2 girls are not called. You're gonna break. You know.
Yeah. they did it for the prior 2 Kenkyusei promotions actually.
Yeah, they promoted
not by
like
rank, according to
half of draft 2, but they left the other half. That was why Nanami actually quit.
What Ryan said that they promoted based on ranking. I'm like, man, that sucks because now you know everybody's ranking. You know how they feel about you.
Yeah. If you think about it,
Dang, dude, that's
Yeah,
the
there's
worst.
that too.
It's like being called for what is it called, like employee evaluations, and they do it from like best to worst or whatever. And it's like, oh, I know it. It's like, yeah, but you also get a promotion. But I know you're the worst.
You know what was funny? It was when they called Coconut. So there was a few Coconut fans that was sitting around me. They were like, "Hey, Coconut mo!" Like we were all like, "Hey, they even promoted Coconut."
so even they were
Yeah.
surprised.
Hey man, just because you can't get fun times out of Coconut.
Shut up! She can't dance.
Whatever. Apparently you don't need to be good at things unless you're like super good like Sayaka.
Doesn't have to be cute.
So like when they were Kenkyusei, did they still have their own like stage?
Yeah.
No, they changed it so that there's no Kenkyusei stage anymore. They
But
created
it's
the
called Kokote.
Katleya Gumi.
What the...
So you
So the what is it? The Catelia, Catlea,
Katleya,
whatever it's called.
the
Like
flower.
so they didn't have their own stage.
No, they removed
You
the.
just prefer
So
the
when
Kokote.
Nanami quit, they removed the Kenkyusei stage.
So okay, so like there's basically no point for them to be Kenkyusei.
Basically.
Right now, yeah, because they were doing stages with draft 1 members, draft 1, draft 2 members. So They created the system. So if the people are listening, if you're familiar with the Himawari Gumi of AKB, it was the rotating group. So they created a version of that for NMB. They called it the Katleya Gumi, and they got the name from the Kokoten song Katleya. What's the shit? I can't remember the title of the Katleya song.
It's okay. No one remembers it either.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's a song in Kokoten that's Katleya something, and then and the reason that they call it Katleya Gumi is because the Katleya Gumi is going to be doing Kokoten until the end of time. And then they restricted.
It's their only original stage. They gotta cling on to it.
Yeah. So they created the Katleya Gumi for young members basically. So any member that is after 4th gen, so not 4th gen. So it covers post Yamada Nana, it covers draft and 5th gen. Actually, if you think about it should cover Jo, but they didn't count her.
So this special unit just performs Kokoten?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so they kind of are like their own unit. They're just not called. They just don't have Kenkyusei as their label.
Yes.
Right? Is that what we're saying? Okay, got it. That's kind of I like that, but that's going away now?
No, they're keeping it.
Still going. I've watched it before.
Understand. I don't understand. This is too complicated.
No, it had nothing to do with being a Kenkyusei. It was just a Katleya Gumi.
Yeah, because
they just basically
half of
replacing
them are promoted already. Half of them.
Well, I just say that because like I really liked what is it, the Kenkyusei? God, what was it? The one that was like a mixture of like 2nd and 4th. Like, I really like that Kenkyusei, and then they had their own stage, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, let's just graduate. Oh, we don't have any Kenkyusei stage, so it's like, that teamwork is all gone, right?
Yeah.
And then we had like another one, right? We had another strong Kenkyusei or something.
It was the Todoko na so Todoko mo no Koen.
Yeah.
That was the.
Yeah, so that was like really
really
cool, right? And then they had like 13 like. I'm sorry, excuse me. I shouldn't have drank that milk because I'm lactose intolerant. It was milk tea. I enjoy milk tea sometimes too much. But what was I saying? Yeah, so there was that other Todo whatever Todokanai
Todo.
stage or whatever. So that was pretty cool, right? And then no, we can't have them together again. Let's just break them up. Like, okay, what the hell? Like, there goes our 5th gen stage.
No, the problem with
And,
that
like-
was that there weren't enough 5th gen.
Yeah,
there weren't enough
5th gen.
Kenkyusei.
Yeah, because they promoted somebody, right?
Yeah.
They promoted Aya
Ion.
and
Nami
Momone.
left.
Yeah, that's their own fault.
Yeah, and Nami left. Well,
Okay, that's not their own fault. Maybe it was. But I mean, the point is that like I really like these like underdog units or underdog like teams. So at least we have like Katleya Gumi, I guess. But they're doing Kokoten, so I don't know.
I mean, it's a good stage.
Yeah.
To be fair.
But it's been. I mean, I remember when they announced it, which was like at the end of 1st gen, and then I remember when they debuted it, and it's been going since then. I mean, I don't want to bark up that same tree of when are new stages, but.
It's never gonna.
That's why I kind of like the Kenkyusei stage because they kind of like mix it in. It's like their own remix. At least somebody created it, right? It feels new even if it's not its own stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think those are the 3 big announcements. Anything else? Sayaka's 2nd album. Did the concerts happen already?
They're
Yes.
happening now.
Yeah. Well, 2 of them was already finished.
Yeah.
So Fukuoka. Well, the first one is Hiroshima. Hiroshima was Shonichi, the first one. She finished that one. And recently she finished the Fukuoka one, which is the 2nd one.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is going to be in Nagoya, which I will finally be attending. Which
Not
is going
Sendai?
to be on the. No, the next one is Nagoya. It's in November 11th.
I was gonna ask like how you feel about the music, but you don't like listening to the album before going.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet.
So
Ask Matt then.
wow.
Yeah, I did.
How do you like the album?
Not sure if I want to spoil it for Andy or not, but
Well, it's.
oh,
I think the thing he's listening.
it's right.
Unless you sing it so well that he's
Yeah,
like,
Track 1,
"Oh, I don't want to
Joker.
listen to the album. Matt, you're so good.
I know. Whoa, Sayaka's on this podcast now. Yeah. I think I like the first one better, but also like going by the buzz of everyone else on Twitter, I think they like the second one better. So, like, there's on Rainbow, there's like maybe 5 songs I really liked. On this one, there's like maybe 2, maybe 3 songs I really liked. So, but I mean, it's overall, I mean, it's not like a typical Idol. It's just a rock album, so it's good. Just I have my own personal taste.
Right. Yeah, I enjoyed the first album. I just listened to, like, I think I bought like all these CDs for some reason, and then like when I drove to school, I would leave one CD in there for like 4 months or something.
Yeah.
So I think like for the first 4 months I had like Bruno Mars' album, and then I think for the rest of the time I probably had Sayaka's album, and then I switched back to Bruno Mars because I like Bruno Mars.
24K Magic.
That's good to. Dude, I love that song. But yeah, I was interested in checking out the album, so maybe I'll pick it up. But I don't. At this point, I feel like Sayaka's like all her stuff is like so detached from the main.
Yeah.
Group. It's kind of weird to me.
It's like it's
kind of weird talking
her own
about
style
her album.
is very different.
Yeah, separate. It's like, oh, is she gonna be the center or like of the new single? It's like, well, shouldn't she be? She's the best. Oh, but she has her own album now. It's like, oh, so what does that mean? Like, that's really confusing to me. It's like, oh, she's good enough to have her own album, but not good enough to be in the center. Like, huh? Like, I don't understand that.
Sayaka's in like this really weird position now. So, do you guys know that like Sayaka actually was part of the 5th gen audition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As a judge.
Yeah, as a judge. Like she's
judge,
like
she was
that
a judge.
high up in NMB now. That's why it's like kind of weird that if you think about it, right?
I
If you're,
mean,
if you're like a
Takamina
5th gen
was
girl.
Takamina was an AKBs too, so
Yeah, I mean, but with NMB, right? This is the first time that something like this has happened. So if you think about if you're like a 5th gen girl, basically like, oh, you're gonna be like you're performing together with this person who actually like chose you. What if she asked you like mean things during the audition?
So what does that mean? It's like, oh, she asked me mean things. I'm not gonna dance that well anymore.
No. I mean, it creates like a weird like separation between Sayaka and the 5th gen girls. So
No, I don't. To me, it's just like it's like getting a job and they have an interview, and then you're eventually gonna work for your boss. Like maybe you will present together. Like the same thing.
yeah, but then the idea is not that she's your boss; she's your fellow member.
Ah man, whatever,
Yeah,
man.
senpai
Sayaka's on a
dynamic.
different level, man. It's all the super
Yeah,
senpai
but
Kohai
then
thing.
I'm sure she doesn't. I'm sure she herself doesn't want that, right? She doesn't want like someone.
I don't know.
thinking-
We can't read her mind.
Well, and Andy has talked to her the most out of all of us. So.
I don't think he knows that much about her. Like, hey, hey, we have 10 seconds. How do you feel about like the economy right now?
I don't really have a point. I'm just saying that.
I don't think that's something you want to say.
No. I don't have like a really strong point. I'm just saying that like for the lower gen members, that like the 1st gen, especially Sayaka, right? It's like so far away that it's kind of hard. It's probably like, for example, if you're AKB 16th gen and you're talking to, I don't know, Sashihara or something, right? Like from your point of view, she's a celebrity.
Right. I get it.
But I kind
I
of get it too, but the thing is, Sayaka is trying to push NMB onto all the new gens and stuff. Like she wants to distance herself eventually from NMB, so I think it is a good step out, slowly.
That's true.
But at the same time, you just said like everyone went crazy for Saya Yuri in Thailand because they have nothing better to do than pretend people are lesbians. So it's like it's such a weird situation. You know what I mean? Like it's like here we are like discussing her album. It's like yeah, I thought it was good. It's her second album, right? Her second solo album.
Yeah.
Do we want her to be center? I don't know. It's like how does that make any sense?
No, I think she's
Some
over
of these
it.
other girls. Some of these other girls won't even have their own singles. And so, like, this girl Sayaka has her own album. Like, damn, that's commitment.
No, so
Center? I don't know.
you know,
It's just really weird to me.
one of the, for me personally, like the moment that not realized, like I accepted that like Sayaka had made it was are you guys familiar with Fukuyama Masaharu?
I think he's from Nagasaki.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. He's a really, really famous like actor in Japan. It's
I remember I had an orientation in Nagasaki or something like that, and it was the same time period that Fukuyama Masaharu was coming. So like, it was like all the hotels were like super expensive, and like you get on the trolley, everybody has their Fukuyama Masaharu t-shirts on, and I'm like, I'm just going here for work, guys.
yeah, he's like super big. He's if people are familiar with like the TV series like Galileo, like he's Galileo. He's like a really big famous actor, and he sings and he fills up domes by himself, stuff like that. Anyways,
I will say,
yeah.
hold on. If you like Galileo, I watched the second movie, like the Midsummer's Equation or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's really good.
It's a very good movie. So if you want to know what we're talking about, watch that movie.
Watch the
I think
first
that'll
one
really
though.
help.
The first one's better.
Oh, I didn't watch the first
Oh man,
one.
watch the first
Thanks for
one.
the
It's
I'll check it out later.
it's like Yogisha no Kenshin, something Suspect X. Anyway, it's really good.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
All right.
just turned
Anyway,
into the Fukuyama Masaharu podcast. No,
go on.
so he has like a TV show, not a regular TV show. It's a special show. Where he invites like his friends. Like these are like musicians, like people that he's like good friends with. They talk about like random stuff and they jam. So they play like random songs. Oh, I like this song. Let's play this song. And he actually invited Sayaka to that because he says, "Oh, I really like your songs." He says like he's a fan of Hitoiki Tsukinagara, like the one that Sayaka always plays. It's the one on the commercial.
Yeah.
And then he asked her, "Oh, I really like that song. Could you play that?" It was like on prime time on like big channel, and like Fukuyama Masaharu just like. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my, that just means like Sayaka has made it."
Well, I'm just saying, like, I get that she's made it, but to me, it's just really weird. Like, if you imagine, like, I don't know, Destiny's Child, right? Beyonce went solo, and you wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, Beyonce's gonna be that. They're gonna do more Destiny's Child projects. Man, I hope Beyonce isn't in the center. I hope it's the other girl. Like, no one would ever see that. I don't even remember who the other girls, but I remember one of them had a single with Nelly. Just put that out there. Nelly, I think he got sued for sexual harassment. I don't know if we should talk about this anymore.
All right, moving on.
Okay, so that was the Sayaka tour. There's new single coming out, but that's all the news we have, right?
Yeah.
I don't really feel like speculating on Senbatsu at this time because you never know what kind of like Senbatsu they're gonna have. Is it gonna be 20? Is it gonna be 16? Or are they gonna do something crazy like they did with Must Be Now, where they had like 7 and pick like talented people?
I think we can rule that out though.
Are you saying that because you think Fuchan's gonna be the center?
No.
Oh.
Ouch.
I'm just kidding.
No,
Just kidding, man. Just relax.
I am. No,
I
saying
want
that,
Fuchan to be center though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Do I want her to be center? I think she deserves it. Like
She
for her
deserves
service.
it. I think she deserves it, man.
Okay, what would you rather have? Like your own song or center on a single?
The thing is, you
Interesting.
don't know if they're gonna get their own song. That's the thing. These
I'm not saying like that's what they're gonna get. I'm just saying what would you rather have?
center on the single, because then that can be your song.
Yeah,
But her song is Fuyu Shogun.
yeah,
Right?
it's a really good song.
Yeah, so so she doesn't need a solo song anymore.
Does Momoka did she need a song or did she have priority? Priority is so good. See, it like
It
But the
depends
thing
on
is,
the
you have
song
to know
too.
that Fuchan never had a center, like a real center for a single before. So I think it would be a good
but
goodbye gift.
But I'm also thinking, weren't there some other songs that had like guest centers, but they weren't very good and they kind of died out?
What?
What didn't wasn't
Durian
Milky's graduation song?
Okuwai Nai.
What was it? Yeah, was that any good? Like, do people still want that jam?
No, that's the thing. It has to depend, right? If it's a good song, plus it's your center song. But if you think about it, think about it this way, like Miru. What's the Miru song?
Right now it's a solo.
Yeah, it's the new one. It's the new one. It's the solo one. But before she got the solo,
The Yama no
Yama.
Yama.
yeah, she really hated
Yama.
that song
Well, then why did she ask people to vote for
because
it? That's
didn't have
really
a
her
selfish of
song.
her. But she hated it.
Don't worry, she's gonna get a new song. She has a new song.
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? It's always a balance. Like for example, like I get what you're saying, Joe. Like, would you rather your center for Fuyu Shogun a regret, or I don't know, what's a really dumb song like uh what's a bad song like Virginity, for example.
I was gonna say what is that one song that she was in?
Rashkunai.
Rashkunai.
Rashkunai is a good song though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, would you take that Rashkunai? I mean, I know it's dual center, but would you take Rashkunai over Fuyi Shogun? Apparently, the fandom likes Fuyi Shogun better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then getting a really good like unit song is really rare though. There's
Yeah,
a
that's
better
why
chance to get a
I'm
good
just
single
saying.
song.
I'm saying that's what I would do, man. Go for broke on one of those B-side songs instead of centering like what could be like a generic single.
B-sides
you could
hasn't
get,
been
like,
very good
priority
these
song.
days. That's the thing.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with the single. Like, it doesn't make it the same anymore.
Whatever, man. As
what do
long
you
as it's a
remember-
good song.
What do you remember Milky for? Do you remember for Boku wa Inai, or do you remember for like Waruki and whatever else she had?
What a key.
Zipper.
Not Zipper. There was another song.
Yeah,
from her, right?
Yasashiku Suruyori Kisoshi.
That's her solo album
Oh.
single thing.
See, there you go, man. Just saying.
All of the above.
Yeah, go for it all. No, but that's really how I feel. Like, I think, a lot of people are like, oh, I hope she centers the next single, but it's like, oh, maybe they can find other ways to, pay tribute to this person.
That's a good point.
Um,
Like for example, Keiichi, they gave her a graduation song because I mean it would be pointless to give her a single center.
Because you wouldn't be there.
but they did that for Yamada Nana, right? Don't Look Back.
Yeah,
But like you don't remember it anymore as like, oh, Nana centered. Oh man, that was good. I'm glad they did it. No one ever says
That's
that,
true.
right?
That's true.
people remember her more for Tomodachi, I think.
Yeah. Tomodachi.
I also remember Azusa more for because they always made her do it.
She's probably done it more than Nana though.
Yeah, I mean that's another point. Like if you give them a solo center for their grad song, then they immediately leave after the single comes out. Then who takes over? It'll be like really awkward.
Mm.
Like last year for Milky, they did those performances of Boku wa Inai on TV, whereas like Yuri centered once and then Ayan centered once. It's like, ooh, they're the next upcoming members, but we haven't really seen it since then.
And like in Request Hour, like Imanaiba ranked in, but it just had like a pre-recorded video of Milky.
That was hilarious because some people actually thought Milky was there
Yeah, exactly.
because you were looking, because if you're far away, right, you're just looking at the screen. It's like, oh my God, Milky!
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how would you like choose to leave your legacy?
A good
Is
song.
it better to be like a good song?
A good song.
So
I think
So
that's it,
regardless
because-
of whether it's a single or not, a B-side, a unit, it doesn't really matter. It just depends on the song. It has to be a good song. If it's not a good song, you forget about it right away.
Doesn't matter
And
if
you
it's
go
A,
to the
B,
next-
or B.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter as long as it's a good song.
but I do like, for example, I do like Don't Look Back. And
Yeah, Don't Look Back is a good song, but the thing is, Don't Look Back isn't like a feel song, you know? It's not a
So you
song you
want-
listen to
so you
like,
want-
oh,
so-
I miss. No, it's not. It's like it's a nice song, but like Tomodachi is the one that gives you all the feel. It's like, ah, fuck, like we have like Sayaka and
So okay, so you want the next Fuchan center single, or she want her to center the single, and it has to be a feel song.
yeah, it has a feel single.
Oh, look at this guy! So many demands.
Actually, you might have changed my mind, Joe. You make a really good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need a Fuchan Center single.
Well, what do we need?
I don't know. I just feel like there's better ways to like honor a member besides giving them like center on a single.
Especially
Like, I feel like
because
that's kind of
she's not leaving until like March or whatever, and
Yeah,
the single
she could
comes out in
actually wait
December.
until the next one.
There's like a 3-month gap, so I'm also going to put out more than one single a year.
I just feel like it's kind of overdone. Like there's better ways to pay tribute to somebody's legacy besides putting them as the center. So how do you feel about her leaving?
Oh man,
Uh,
this is horrible. Well, the thing is, we all anticipated it, you know, like because actually like a few days ago, like before the concert, I was talking to like Timmy, you know Timmy, the salty guy. So like,
Shout out to Timmy.
yeah, shout out to
the
Timmy.
the Junina of Twitter.
Oh wow.
Either way, I think we were just talking about some random stuff, and we're talking about graduates, like stuff like that. And then I brought up like, what makes you think that isn't it going to be Fuchan that graduates? And then the thing is that I think everybody knew, like she had the highest chance of announcing it. Because first of all, to announce on the 7th anniversary concert is number one, you have to be big enough. Like you can't just be a nobody. Like if you're a nobody, like you shouldn't even be announcing it there. I'm sorry to say, like no, you have to be somebody. Either you have to be first gen or you have to be somebody.
I like how you put in the first gen because that's how Kanakichi got her.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you have to be first gen or somebody, right?
Sounds
So-
bad, but that's true.
So you think Renopyeon will get one?
If
Yeah,
she
why
does
not?
announce, if she does, I think if she wants to announce it as like an anniversary, I think she could,
Okay, got it.
Just because she's first gen.
Right.
Either way, so like I thought, like I think she was the next one in line. Like I honestly saw that because first of all, oh, okay, like you're gonna say like, oh, people like first of all, she didn't join Soul Senkyo, right? Oh, that's already a big red light. Red light. She never.
Red flag, not red light.
Oh, okay, red flag.
Red light just means stop.
Red flag. Yes, red flag.
So like you
Kind of already know like okay, something's wrong, and like it felt like for the past year like she just been kind of like she hasn't been as desperate.
like
Yeah,
I think it's a
she's
good thing.
stagnant.
I think it's a good thing.
Like she's more relaxed with her job. She's more like she kind of like accepted where she is. Whereas before, I felt like there are moments where she's really desperate in trying to get like that popularity boost. Like she will post always like insecure stuff. She's always talking about insecurity, and before before election, she would try super hard at the handshakes, like very obvious, and like I just felt like for the past year she's been quite chill. Like she's just being herself, and I think that was a good thing for me. But at the same time, you knew was because she probably had some like understanding where like she's like she kind of had an idea where she's going with this. So I thought she was the most likely person to announce, and she was, you know. So like when she announced, it was expected. It was expected, but it was still very sad because it's also very unavoidable. You know she is going to leave soon, like rather soonish. And I think that was the most frustrating part for me was not because like it took me by surprise like Shu did. It was frustrating in a way that like we saw this coming for a while now. But
And you couldn't
you can't do anything
right?
about it. But the thing is, we can't do anything about it. Like, what can we do? What can we do
Right.
as a fan? What can we really do? Like unless you're like super baller, you just buy everything. Even if you buy everything out, like she knows how many fans she has. Like she has a good idea. Like she knows if it's all coming from one fan or if it's coming from like 1,000 different new fans.
Right.
Like
Right.
they know that. So like I think like it wouldn't have changed anything for her. Like for her, her mentality of like looking at whatever she's doing now, like her position, her job, or whatever her career, I think it wouldn't have changed anything. So it was frustrating. It was because it was expected, but you couldn't do anything about it, and also because we've been losing a lot of members recently. Like in the past year, we've been losing a lot, and a lot of them are big. Like there are characters that we cannot replace. For example, Momoka. Like who are we going to like? Who can replace that character? That fooling around, that ikemen, that neat, that who wants her goal is to become a neat. Like who are we gonna find a a member that can replace that character. Probably we'll never ever find one, to be honest.
Even if we just say like not even replace, but like, is there anyone that can step into that void like and capture the same fans that she has? Like, yeah, I don't see it. And like, I feel like if they do appear, then they look like tryhards now. It's like, oh, you're just trying to be like,
Yeah, it would just be like a post Momoko or something like that, right? Like, so like we don't want that. We want something that was like, yeah. So we're losing a lot. Like we lost Keiichi. Keiichi's kind of cool. She's the drum chick, and she's all the weird ones. She's the she's just weird. And then and then who else? So Shu was also very depressing, was because Shu was supposed to step up as being the one of the younger girls who has that much potential. She's supposed to step up, Then she left. Well, so we have a huge list of here. Like
I think Ridipon was big.
Well,
Ridipon
Ridipon was
the
different.
biggest, I think.
Ridipon was
That was damage control.
The thing was she was a
Ridipon was
parachuter.
self-destruction.
Yeah.
The thing was, she was big too because like management put a lot of effort into her, like to drop her like all out of nowhere and just like put her in the center of Jurian Shonen and like give her a solo song even before Miru gets one. Like she had all these like pushes from the management, and then she just kind of just ended all by herself. Like, nope.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there was, like, a lot of potential. It's like, oh, like, if you look at the new gen, who do you think would be good at talking? And it's just like, oh, dude, Ridipon's, like, the best. Like, easily, like, cream of the crop. Says some weird stuff, but, like, yo, dude, that's, like that. You could say, oh, like, she's definitely, like, a future star. And then, like, dude, that just, like, rocked everybody. And then, like, with Fu-chan leaving, it's like, God, dude, who do they have left? Like, Sayaka with her weird position, and then you have I don't know where Akamiru came from. Apparently, that's becoming a thing.
That's mostly because Akarin is being rising in rank within NMB and within AKB, and so now she has to step up because right now it's just going to be Sayaka, Miru, and then Akarin is the new rising power, right? So it's just these.
You have Akamiru, and then Yuri like.
Yuri is catching up. Yeah, Yuri is coming up, but it's just Yuri is not very. It's still kind of ignored within the AKB group. Whereas Akari can't be ignored just because she brought results to Sosenkyo, she brought results to Kohaku ranking thing. So now AKB kind of can't like.
I'm just bringing up these members as in like, oh, like what do we have to look forward to now that like Fu-chan's leaving, and it's just like, damn, dude, like.
And the thing is,
things have
even
been
when you look at like
shaken up.
Akamiru, we were talking about Akamiru, they're all first gens. Like that means we're still depending. That's the worst part, is that we're still depending on the first gen. Even like if we have Akane stepping up, but she's first gen. Like, so what's really depressing is that we're losing all these. Like, we have members stepping up, but they're still first gen. Like it's not helping.
Well, kind of, because you said like, oh, Fu-chan left because like, oh yeah, she's kind of settled into her role, and then like Akarin, like she kind of like was like meh. Until like she kicked the YouTube off, so like, oh man, now there's like renewed life. Now she's like really motivated. So I don't think it matters that she's first gen. I think it's just like, at least they're finding stuff that like motivates them.
Yeah, but the thing is, but being first gen means that there is a certain much more that she would win to stay.
Like, yeah, you can say that her rise, and like now that has her own YouTube thing, she's so much more popular now. Yeah, maybe it'll just give her 2 extra years, Whereas before, maybe she would have left soon.
Well, I mean, like 2 years is a lot, like really.
But it's not enough if we want to establish a new NMB without Sayaka.
I mean, if you think about it, for example, like Shu, right? So we were expecting Shu to be like her time was now, like Shu, Riripon. And then, because we were, especially with Shu, right? We were waiting for her to like explode, basically. And it's just gone. And like with
Riripon, Nagi-Shu was the best thing ever.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, to be honest, like I feel bad for Nagisa in a way that I don't know. So I don't really follow her that much. Well, I do follow her, but I don't really follow her that heavily. But like I get the feeling that she's kind of like treading water right now. I mean, she's not losing popularity, but she's not really getting more popular either.
I agree.
I think she's trying to find a way though. Like that's why she did all that comedy stuff.
Yeah.
She's getting really good at it.
And I feel like she does have like more solo potential now.
Yeah, but it would have been more fun if Shu was around. I guess that's what I was.
But at the same time, you could say like this is better for like Nagisa's personal growth. But within NMB, like I don't know, she's already what like 22.
Yeah,
Because she when she came on to NMB, she was already like 16, 17.
she was
or something.
17 when she started. Yeah, she had like she has a shorter shelf life than others.
But I feel like she's making like good strides if she were to leave the group. But as far as like promoting the group, like like I don't know. I feel like there's some like girls like that. But yeah, like so like Fu-chan leaving, like I don't know. Like everyone knew it was coming, like, and she didn't have anything to keep her hungry, like like Akarin does now. So
Yeah,
She's
so
always hungry.
things.
ice cream.
But she has free like McDonald's burgers now.
No,
right?
Yeah,
already
she got the
expired, man.
McDonald's burger, so she could quit now.
Expired, man. That was a year ago.
I thought that was lifetime.
No, it was a
It
year.
was 1 year supply.
Oh, come on, McDonald's.
She's poor again.
So I have a question for like Jeff. So you came into NMB through Rainian or no?
No, it was like not exactly Rainian, but she was my first Oshi, but I came relatively late compared to you guys. So I really became an NMB fan in 2015. So I haven't seen the growth of a lot of these members you're talking about. I've seen them kind of near their stable or at their top level. And then suddenly this whole string of graduations has continued basically since I joined.
That's my question though. So like what like for us, right? It's kind of different for us because we were there from the start. So I don't know. We were going down with the ship. There's a sense of like we're going down with the ship anyway.
Mhm.
So what if for like for example for you, right? Like what interests you enough to stay basically?
Personally, I'm still kind of discovering members through things like YNN, radio shows. I find all their shows are just still entertaining enough, but then those definitely are still catering to WOTAs. So it's kind of hard to bring in new fans, and it doesn't promote NMB at the level of, on music shows and who's going to be a really like captivating performer like Sayaka who will like bring in all the general fans. So it's hard for me to see who will kind of rise to that level. I can agree with a lot of what you guys are observing, but I think I don't quite know like all the growth and the potential of all the members as well as you do.
I see. Well, I think the interesting because you brought up YNN.
Yeah.
Like, God, dude, I remember when YNN first came out, right? And like, we were like really excited. It's like, oh, dude, like this person's gonna appear on the show. But now it just seems like them dicking around. Like it doesn't seem like as
Yeah.
as like really cool. Like now it's just like, oh yeah, okay, I have a YNN subscription. Let me just turn it on. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Not something that like you'd be like really excited to watch, like it was when it first came out.
I think when it started, it was like so new. Like the idea was like so novel. Like a net internet show that's like exclusively for NMB, right? Like it's like no other groups had that. Especially when they did the first Recount 24, that was like so crazy. But now it's like I think especially with like the proliferation of showroom and stuff like that. I think people have gotten inured to like seeing idols on their screen that like watching YNN isn't really that special anymore.
Yeah.
And it's also like YNN doesn't really do anything new anymore. Back then, everything they did was new, right? They were at first they were just doing like the really stupid like they did like the bus tour with Momoka, Rika, and Yupi. So they did like.
But I mean, I was gonna say that like for YNN, it's just like, what do you guys want to do, and like we'll like tape it. So it's like, oh yeah, this is like what I really want to do. But now it's just like, is this really what you want to do, or are you just like out of ideas?
I'm out of money.
That's what I mean. Why like, I just think like, oh yeah, they're just digging around. Like, oh yeah, like I guess I want to learn how to rap. Like, do you really? Do you really?
Well, I guess with
want to
Ripon,
play
that's
on the
probably
trampoline?
true. Though.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I just want to play on a trampoline. Like, think we're really grasping at straws here,
That's
guys.
true.
Whereas before, it's like, oh yeah, dude, I really wanted to do a bus tour. It's like, oh yeah, dude, let's give it a shot. Like it felt like you were actually like, this is like what they really wanted to do. But like now, it's just like, all right.
That's true. But they're doing like some experimental stuff as well, still. Like, for example, like the Anchu thing that came from YNN.
Yeah, but that was on the 20. That came from the 24-hour thing. So
Yeah.
that's when I think they get all like a lot more creative because they're like, oh, we gotta figure out some way to
Fit in
like
24
keep
hours.
this thing on for 24 hours, and we have to have like good programming. Like we can't just have people dick around. We can't be like showroom on YNN. Like we gotta have like interesting programs. So I think that's when the creative stuff comes.
That's
in.
true.
But like for like your regular shows, like I don't know, I kind of checked out of like watching it like 2 years ago, which is pretty good.
That's true though. Like, I guess the problem with NMB right now is the lack of exposure. It's really weird to say that there's too much exposure and then we're saying that there's lack of exposure. There's too much exposure with the people who already know them, but there's a lack of exposure to people who are new. Is that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, which I'm really thankful for Akari for, because Akari is definitely tapping into a new group of audience that probably weren't very familiar with NMB. And I think it's very beneficial. Like, I mean, like, yeah, it might be just be her fans. They could be very casual. They could be whatever. But I feel like it's a chain effect. It's like, it's going to help them maybe, like, through Akari, they're going to notice NMB. They're going to be like, okay, I'm going to go to see, like, Akari, like, once or twice at a handshake. And maybe, by chance from looking at the side lane, they're going to see, oh, who's this member? She's really cute. She's really pretty, too. Maybe I want to see her next time I buy. And then maybe they'll want to come to the concert because now we have a girls-only section. And I think it just kind of snowballs in a good way. And I think that's why I'm really thankful for what Akarin is doing. I mean, she is the only member right now that's tapping to something. Also, Anchu. Anchu is attempting, right? He's trying to tap into that video game thing. So, like, trying to...
I think Anchu will have
No,
more of a
that's-
problem than Akarin because Akarin is like completely greenfield, right? Like completely like new.
Left not Greenfield. Not Greenfield. I don't know what that means.
No, greenfields mean like completely untapped.
Oh,
Anyways,
that's cool. I like that. I'm gonna pick that up.
it's not something
new
I came up
metaphor.
with, Joe. It's
New metaphors from my buddies. This is the first time I heard. Oh, she's like Greenfield. I've heard Untapped, obviously.
yeah. So, but
Okay.
with Anchu, it's like the video game stuff, right? It's like really really common.
Yeah, but I mean, at least it's going to a slightly different, like, direction. Other than just, like, hitting
audience.
even if they're all considered otakus, but like at least it's a different part of it's not the idol. Maybe she's slowly tapping into the non-idol side of otaku people. Like I know there are otakus that's not really into idols at all, but like maybe they're into Dragon Quest or whatever games that she's playing, and through them they might this girl's kind of cute, or maybe know a little bit more about NMB.
Speaking of which, because since we're talking about Anshu, she does have her own channel on YouTube where she broadcasts herself playing the worst Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest of all time. And
Every Monday.
Okay,
and
so
Thursday.
I'm new to the whole Dragon Quest. Why would you say Dragon Quest 2 is the worst one?
do you really want to?
Yes, I want to know.
This is a really long story. Okay, so let's say Dragon Quest was the first, right? And Dragon Quest 1 is actually really easy and really simple. You just grind, and you go to the next area and you grind some more, and then you solve some really basic riddles. And then Dragon Quest 2 was like, oh yeah, dude, we're gonna expand like the whole game. So like instead of being a single person, you have a party now. But it was also like really really new. So I think if Dragon Quest was the first RPG, Dragon Quest 2 was probably like the second like RPG. So like having a party was actually kind of new, and because it's like so new, like there's a lot of conventions we have nowadays that like people just won't do because it's kind of like BS. For example, the grinding is really really annoying because there's nothing to, like in Dragon Quest, like grinding was the game, right? The first one, all you do in that game is grind. That's the whole point of the game. You grind and you're like, oh, now I'm like level 5. Now I can cross the bridge and fight different monsters. And like they didn't really learn that lesson for Dragon Quest 2, like when things are like kind of veering off into being more narrative. Like they still retain the grinding. So one, the grinding sucks, and then two, like the characters are kind of unbalanced. Like yeah, there's 3 people in your party, and like the guy in the middle, the second guy, like God, dude, he sucks. They're like, oh, let's make him do everything, but not really well. Instead, he does nothing well. What a waste of
Is there a reason why, like, has she ever mentioned or just like in general, like why she's playing Dragon Quest 2?
No, it's
Like,
because it's the
why-
next one.
Yeah, she did one on the 24-hour stream.
Okay,
think
so
she
she has
beat
to
it, though.
so she has to beat the second one before she
Did she
moves
beat?
on.
Did she beat one? I don't think
She did. She did.
She did.
Oh, okay.
I was watching it. It was hilarious.
So she has to beat the second one before she moves on to the next one.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
she
I asked
doesn't
her-
have to.
Yeah, I asked her at the last handshake. I was like, "Oh, after you beat 2, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna do 3? Or are you gonna do something else?" She's like, "Oh, I might do 3. I might do 11." So I'm like, "Okay."
They really should have done 11 because 11 is like so good and like, I'm complaining about how hard Dragon Quest 2 is. Like Dragon Quest 11 doesn't have any of that until the post.
I actually think you make a good point. Like because 11 is hot, I guess, and because it's new, right? So you can get more people to watch it because the
Yeah,
people who
yeah.
would watch
More-
us live stream of 11, there's probably like 10 times more than the people who would watch a live stream of 2.
And that's just true with streaming
Yeah.
in general. Like no one's gonna want to watch like. If you're gonna like to get even any viewers for like a game in on Twitch right now, like for like an old game, you have to be like a speedrunner. Like you have to have some special technique on how to play it.
But it is like a pretty like good market just because there are a lot of retro game fans. So some people do start on like retro games. So if you try to play like a newest Call of Duty or whatever, there's like the same deal where you have a billion people all playing at the same time. So you're not gonna get any viewers playing the newest game either. So you have to find like the obscure or niche games or whatever.
So like, have you guys been know like? Does any one of you know like how much views she's been getting on her YouTube channel for
I
these
do,
Dragon
I
Quest
know.
videos?
She gets like
Probably like 10K.
18,000 each video. She had like 55,000 the first one, and then it went down to like 20 something, and then she's settled down to like 18.
Okay, I was just curious. I never paid attention to it because
I
mostly
don't know.
because I don't really know Dragon Quest. So like for me, obviously, I don't watch it. Like I've only watched like very clips, and I already know she sucks at it because she was grinding with like 3 HP. Like what the fuck? Who the fuck grinds with 3 HPs?
No, I was telling Joe and I was just telling Joe and the others earlier, like because like for example that one, she was grinding at 3 HP, right? I was telling them like that feels to me like she was doing it on purpose so she could die.
But at the same time, it's like, oh, we're all veteran gamers, so we could be like, oh yeah, 3 HP, that's probably not so good. Maybe she thinks they all hit for 1 HP.
And then go.
Yeah. And anyway, so I don't know if you still want to hear me talk more about how bad Dragon Quest
No,
2
we're
is.
good.
Move on.
I got an idea. That's
But by the way, I think Craig was mentioning about how much I hate that game, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you should stream yourself like playing that game." So eventually I will. I have it all set up, but like I haven't really played it yet.
okay.
So if you really want to know more about Dragon Quest 2, you can watch my stream.
Or watch Anchu stream every Monday and Thursday on YouTube.
or that, you know. Well, she's a lot more entertaining than me, because so if you don't know anything about Dragon Quest, there's these monsters called Metal Slimes, and I think they have like a 4 out of 7 chance to run on every turn, and then the other ones they like may attack. And
Really hard to.
They have a really
really high evasion.
Yeah.
So almost impossible to hit. Well, not really impossible. But
well, actually, they have a really high defense. So like when they have a really high defense, you can either roll like a 1 or a 0, right? So even if you have like not a lot of attack, you could still only roll a 1 or 0. So it's all luck on whether you kill them. And when you do kill them, they have like a lot of experience.
yeah,
Right? And
it's like a free level or 2.
What's hilarious is
In
that
any other-
this last episode, she spent the entire episode hunting metal slimes, and she couldn't even get 1 level up.
well, she got like a lot of levels, but not from killing the slime.
Yeah,
Killing the other monsters.
And I think this is because Dragon Quest 2 is a bad game. But like when I play like Dragon Quest, right? It's like, oh look, there's a metal slime, and it's like, oh man, it ran away. Like, oh well, whatever. But like when you see Anshu play, like, oh man, she's like, oh my god, it's a metal slime. Like, what do I do with it? And then like she's like yelling at her party when they don't kill her. It's like, oh man, like seriously, like get it together, man. Like we're on an adventure. Take it seriously. And like she's like, and it's just like it's really cool because like in some respects it's kind of like over the top, but at the same time it's like that's what you're really feeling, even though when you're playing you don't act like that. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's great.
All right.
On the other hand, there's like a lot of like crap that happens in Dragon Quest 2, so that could be why like the views dropped, because that game sucks.
Okay, let's quickly move on.
Well, I was also gonna say the reason why I brought it up is because I was trying to submit subtitles, right? Because on YouTube you can contribute subtitles, and so I was like doing it. I was like, oh, maybe if I just contribute it, like it'll just automatically appear. But like it has to be approved by somebody, and I was like, okay, I'll just I did like 10 minutes, and I don't think I submitted for approval. I don't think it's gonna get approved. But I'm just like, man, that's stupid.
It's probably not her directly posting it. It's probably like the manager's posting everything.
It definitely is.
Yeah, I don't think they know how to check the accuracy of subtitles, especially because I use like a lot of slang.
But that's not true though. Like for example, like Akarin she actually went back and subbed her like first few videos of her makeup tutorials because they got so many views. So there's certain ones that had a lot of views. She actually went back and add English subs.
I'm pretty. Is that? I don't think it was her.
No.
I don't know if she did
They
it.
hired someone. They
Yeah,
hired someone to do it.
I think it's someone I think she said there was someone she knew that knew the English or something. Right?
Was it Imichi?
Yeah, I don't think. Well, we'll see if my subtitles get accepted because I only did 10 minutes.
I think about the Akadin's YouTube video, like how like the one video that had Sayaka as a guest on it was like the one that had like the most views.
Oh my god, it has
It had
like
like
1
2
point. Yeah, it has 2
something.
million.
Yeah.
It like destroyed like every other video she did.
Yeah, combined.
Well, the thing was, Sayaka was tweeting too. She was like it's a really complex feeling because it has more views than her own Joker envy.
No, Sayaka only has 30,000 subscribers. Akarin has like 400,000.
I know. That's why I said she's like, because Akarin was praising how amazing Sayaka was, that just having her in her video, she gets so much views. But like then Sayaka was like, oh, she has like this really complicated feelings where, because even on her own videos she doesn't have that high a view.
Complicated feelings. Okay, I think that should wrap it up. Well, I did want to continue talking about how like how they don't have enough exposure, but I feel like that would take another hour, and we're already at the 2 hour mark.
Yeah, maybe next episode.
Since you guys like talking so much, I feel like this is more for us than for anybody listening, actually. But it's pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun. You guys have any final comments?
Yeah, like
about doing the show again.
Yeah, for sure. It's like
Stuff
we're
like
trying
that.
to revive this. Like you know, we all have fun, and I'm pretty sure people who's still kind of into NMB, they would enjoy listening to people talk about more about NMB. Especially recently, I feel like we've lost a lot of fans. Like even like kind of like Joe. Like we like yeah, even like you. Like it's like being pretty distant. But like I feel like they're like it's not like they don't follow anymore, but it's like a lot of the fans, it's like, especially when their Oshi left, they kind of end up in this weird limbo, this weird place where like they kind of still care about NMB, but it's hard for them to care, and at least they don't want to be aggressively like following the news and stuff like that. So at least if we can somehow bring the news to them, it might still get them a little bit more engaged. And that's I don't know why, like I don't know why you guys want to do it, but like for me personally, that's kind of why I want to do it. It's mostly just I'm trying to bring back some of the fans, at least to know what's
Like me?
Yeah, at least to know what's up, you know. At least know what's up.
Well, like I said, one of the reasons why I'm like kind of shying away is because what kept me into it was the live events, and I can't really go because I don't have a job and I'm in LA, so it's a lot harder. And I thought that was really cool about this show, that I got to ask you about the events. Like, oh, how was it? Like, oh yeah, dude, I remember when I was there, or like, you know, oh Jeff, like, yeah, they were all like in front of me. Like, oh, dude, I remember when that happened for me. So it's like it's really cool for me to like kind of get that live event feel, kind of, like getting it from you guys, because it sure beats like, you know, reading it. Like, oh, now I can hear the excitement in your voice. Oh, this is what happened. Oh, that's so cool. So, thank you for that.
Yeah, I also hope like the people who are listening, like at the very least, they get to experience it vicariously. So that's why maybe if we do this again, like maybe we can add some like handshake experiences. It's like for example, we didn't even go through like Jeff's handshake experience, which I think would be interesting for other people to listen to.
Yeah, maybe we can talk about in another episode. But I also wanted to add, I think one reason I planned this whole trip around going to the 7th anniversary because I wanted to see NMB live because that's like their thing. And I also wanted to meet more fans. So I met Ryan on this trip. I met up with Andy again and Matt, who I've seen before. Because I've had this experience of, joining a fandom for other bands and then like following them around to events. And we become friends and we, talk a lot about the band and how it's going to look in the future. And for idol groups like NMB, that's like, there's so much to talk about. And I think it's really a big part of the fandom. So that's why I'm glad I went through this whole experience. And joining this podcast just is an extra part of it, connecting to people who can't necessarily go to Japan, but hopefully we can reach them through this.
How about you, Matt?
Yeah, that's a really good. Oh, I was gonna say that's a really good point. I think I don't want to brag, but I feel like everybody like I've met or that we've introduced to each other like in this community has been like really cool. So hopefully, if you're interested in joining the community, if you do come out to Japan, like you can meet these guys. Hopefully, you're not the jerk that messes it up. But
You can be a cool guy.
Everyone
or girl.
like Craig. Craig, when he went in like June or
Like,
July,
yeah.
I hang out with him. He lives like 2 streets away. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, this dude is like really fun, like meeting everybody, and like they helped me out. It's like, oh, I got to tell Yuri that like Ryan paid for our meal because she made some. I forget what it was, but like yeah, you also get like I won't say access to exclusive stories, but we also have like a really really good community. So if you are interested, instead of being like a bystander on a forum, you really want to like meet a community. I think like these guys are pretty cool. Okay, Matt, what do you got for us?
I just like talking about NMB and 48 group in general. So
keeping it simple.
yeah, if I wanna,
I'm here.
I'm here to take names, kick ass.
I'm just here at a party. I don't know what these are.
But also I have to say about the community. I mean, the community, we take care of our own. Like, Andy especially does all like the proxy, like, he'll help you get tickets. And if like you live outside of Japan and you want to like, go to a concert or go to a handshake event, we have people that can hook you up with that or help you out with that. So
at the venue, because we're so nerdy that we're also there.
Yeah, too.
Go on.
That's it.
Dang. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this podcast. It was actually surprisingly fun for me because, as I said, I've been kind of away. For the guys here, for Matt, for Ryan, Andy, and Jeff, I'm Joe, and this was Takoyaki Party, episode 31. Thank you, and see you guys later.
Peace out.
Peace.
Later.